Hello and welcome to today's episode. I'm really glad you're here. Today we're talking about something that is a big part of our daily lives, our phones. More specifically, we're going to explore what happens when you stop using your phone for a while. This is often called a digital detox. Maybe you've heard this phrase before. A digital detox means taking a break from digital devices like smartphones, social media, and sometimes even computers. Some people do it for a few hours, some for a weekend, and others for several weeks. But what really happens when you quit your phone, even for a short time? Is it difficult? Is it helpful? And what changes in your mind and your daily routine? Let's imagine a simple situation. You wake up in the morning. What is the first thing you do? Many people reach for their phone before they even get out of bed. They check messages, emails, news, or social media. It has become such a normal habit that we often don't even think about it. Our phones are like an extension of our hands. But what if, one morning, you decided not to touch your phone at all? No checking notifications, no scrolling, no quick look at social media. At first, this might feel strange or even uncomfortable. Many people describe a feeling of anxiety, like they are missing something important. This feeling has a name, FOMO, or fear of missing out. When you stop using your phone, especially if you are used to checking it many times a day, your brain reacts. Your brain is used to receiving small rewards every time you get a new message, a like, or a notification. These small rewards release a chemical called dopamine, which makes you feel good. Over time, your brain starts to expect these rewards regularly. So, during the first hours or the first day of a digital detox, you might feel bored, restless, or even a bit nervous. You may reach for your pocket or your bag automatically, looking for your phone, and then remember that you decided not to use it. This is completely normal. It shows how strong your habits are. But something interesting happens after this first uncomfortable phase. When you stop constantly checking your phone, your attention slowly begins to change. Without the constant interruptions of notifications and messages, your mind has more space to focus. You may notice that you can concentrate better on one task for a longer time. For example, if you are reading a book, you might usually read a few pages and then stop to check your phone. But during a digital detox, you might read for 20 or 30 minutes without stopping. This deeper concentration can make activities more enjoyable and also more productive. Students often report that they understand their study materials better when they are not distracted by their phones. Another thing that often changes is your sense of time. When we use our phones a lot, especially on social media, time can pass very quickly without us noticing. You might think you have been scrolling for 5 minutes, but in reality, it has been 30 or even 60 minutes. When you stop using your phone, you suddenly have more free time, and you become more aware of how you spend it. Many people who try a digital detox are surprised by how much extra time they seem to have. They start doing things they used to enjoy but stopped doing, like reading, drawing, cooking, or going for a walk. Some people also start new hobbies because they finally feel they have the time and mental energy to try something different. Let's also talk about social life. At first, it might seem that quitting your phone would make you feel more isolated, because you are not in constant contact with your friends and family through messages and social media. However, many people report the opposite effect. Without their phones, they pay more attention to the people who are physically around them. Imagine you are sitting in a cafe with a friend. How often do you both look at your phones during the conversation? It's very common to check messages or quickly scroll through social media, even while someone is talking to you. During a digital detox, you remove this distraction. As a result, conversations often become deeper and more meaningful, because you are fully present and listening carefully. Eye contact, body language, and small details in someone's voice become more noticeable when you are not dividing your attention between a person and a screen. This can improve your relationships and make social interactions feel more satisfying. Another important area affected by phone use is sleep. Many people use their phones late at night, just before going to sleep. They scroll through social media, watch videos, or answer messages in bed. The problem is that the blue light from phone screens can make it harder for your brain to understand that it is time to sleep. It reduces the production of a hormone called melatonin, which helps regulate your sleep cycle. When you stop using your phone in the evening, especially 1 or 2 hours before bed, many people find that they fall asleep faster and sleep more deeply. Better sleep has a strong effect on your mood, energy levels, and overall health. You may wake up feeling more refreshed and ready to start the day. Now, let's talk about mental health. Social media can be a fun way to connect with others, but it can also create pressure and stress. We often see carefully chosen photos and positive moments from other people's lives. This can make us compare our own lives to these perfect-looking images. Over time, this comparison can lower self-esteem and create feelings of sadness or not being good enough. During a digital detox, you take a break from this constant comparison. You are no longer seeing hundreds of photos and updates every day. This can give your mind a chance to relax and focus on your own life, your own goals, and your own experiences. Some people say they feel calmer and more satisfied with their lives after spending time away from social media. Of course, quitting your phone completely is not always possible or practical. Many of us need our phones for work, school, navigation, banking, and staying in contact with important people. A digital detox does not have to mean throwing your phone away or turning it off forever. It can be about setting limits and creating healthier habits. For example, you might decide to have phone-free times during your day. This could be during meals, during the first hour after you wake up, or during the last hour before you go to bed. Some people choose to leave their phones in another room while they are working or studying, so they are not tempted to check it every few minutes. There are also apps and settings that can help you control your phone use. Many smartphones now show you how much time you spend on different apps each day. Seeing these numbers can be surprising and sometimes shocking. When you realize you are spending 2 or 3 hours a day on social media, you might feel more motivated to make a change. Let's imagine a person named Anna. Anna decides to try a digital detox for one weekend. On Friday evening, she tells her close friends and family that she will not be available on social media until Monday. She turns off most of her notifications and puts her phone in a drawer, only checking it once in the morning and once in the evening for important messages. On Saturday morning, Anna feels a bit uncomfortable. She has the habit of checking her phone while drinking her coffee, and now she doesn't know what to do with her hands. But after a while, she starts looking around her apartment, noticing small details she usually ignores. She decides to clean her room, something she has been planning to do for weeks. Later, she goes for a walk in the park without her phone. At first, she feels strange not having it with her, but soon she starts paying attention to the sounds of birds, the wind in the trees, and the people passing by. She feels more connected to her surroundings and more relaxed than usual. On Sunday, Anna meets a friend for lunch. Normally, they would both check their phones several times during the meal. This time, they talk for 2 hours without any digital interruptions. They share stories, laugh, and discuss their plans for the future. Anna later says it was one of the best conversations she had had in a long time. By Monday, when Anna returns to her normal phone use, she notices something important. She is more aware of how often she wants to check her phone and starts asking herself, "Do I really need to check it now?" This awareness is one of the biggest benefits of a digital detox. It helps you see your habits more clearly. You might be wondering if you should try a digital detox yourself. The answer depends on your lifestyle, your work, and your personal needs. You don't have to start with something extreme. Even small changes can have a positive effect. For example, you could start by turning off non-essential notifications, or by choosing one day a week to reduce your phone use. It's also helpful to replace phone time with other activities. If you simply stop using your phone but don't know what to do instead, you might quickly return to your old habits. Think about activities you enjoy or have always wanted to try: reading novels in English to improve your language skills, learning to cook new recipes, exercising, or spending more time outdoors. Some people worry that if they stop using their phones, they will miss important news or messages. In reality, most things can wait. If something is truly urgent, people can usually find another way to contact you, such as calling you directly or speaking to you in person. Learning that not every message needs an immediate answer can reduce stress and make your life feel less rushed. Another interesting effect of quitting your phone is that it can improve creativity. When you are constantly consuming information, watching videos, and reading posts, your brain has less time to create its own ideas. Moments of boredom, which we often try to avoid by checking our phones, are actually important for imagination and problem solving. When you allow yourself to be bored for a few minutes, your mind starts to wander. You may suddenly remember something you forgot to do, think of a new idea for a project, or find a solution to a problem that has been bothering you. Many writers, artists, and inventors say that their best ideas come when they are walking, resting, or doing something simple, without digital distractions. Digital detox is not about saying that phones are bad or that technology is the enemy. Smartphones are powerful tools that help us in many ways. They allow us to communicate with people around the world, learn new skills, and access information in seconds. The goal is not to reject technology completely, but to use it in a more balanced and conscious way. If you decide to try a digital detox, it can be helpful to set clear rules for yourself. For example, you could decide, no phone during meals, no social media after 9 p.m., or one full day each week with very limited phone use. Writing these rules down and sharing them with friends or family can make it easier to follow them. You might also notice that your feelings about your phone change over time. At the beginning, it may feel like you are giving something up. But after a while, you may start to feel that you are gaining something: more time, more focus, better sleep, and stronger real-life connections. In the end, a digital detox is really about attention. Our attention is one of our most valuable resources. Where we direct our attention shapes our experiences, our relationships, and even our memories. By choosing when and how we use our phones, we take back control of our attention and, in a way, of our lives. So maybe, after listening to this episode, you might try a small experiment. Perhaps tonight, you could put your phone away 1 hour before bed and see how you feel. Or this weekend, you could go for a walk without taking your phone with you. You don't have to make a big, dramatic change. Even small steps can teach you a lot about your habits and your needs. Thank you for spending this time with me today and for practicing your English while exploring an important topic in modern life. In our next episode, we'll talk about another everyday habit and how it influences the way we think and feel. Until then, take care, stay curious, and maybe give yourself a little break from your phone.